So this is Louis, and this is going to just be a quick upload that I put up for the sake of not actually doing any work this week, as I put up in the alternative to YouTube video, which I put up a few days ago. Everything's been shaken up on YouTube now. It seems that, you know, and I can show you the screenshot, that my channel has now been hit by the demonetization thing, whatever it is, algorithm, I don't even know. So I've been hit too, and I expected it, you know. I do some pretty controversial things in terms of how I speak and everything else, and I don't have the connections that everyone else does, you know. I'm not going to get any kind of special treatment. I'm going to be, you know, on the bottom rung with everyone else and get shit on. So with me, this is nothing. You know, if YouTube wants to demonetize my entire channel, go right ahead. I don't give a fucking shit. You know, I make my money through affiliates and through Patreon, even though I've only charged once ever for a video. You know, I can make just as much money in a month on Patreon as I would on YouTube. So you can demonetize every fucking video, I'm still going to make money. And it's not my job. So to whatever degree I should care, I don't really. But the other problem was with Patreon, and that's the thing. Like, everything's up in the air now. And everyone kept telling me, well, go on that Patreon, you know, website, and that just got delisted or whatever from its host or something. Something happened with that website where it was taken down. And it's like, you know, people want me to go to these really, really risky websites, and it's like, well, no, I don't really want to do that. It's very nice that there are alternative sites out there, but I'm only willing to go so far in terms of risk and just no-nameness, because if, you know, the whatever host or however it works, whatever company hosts that website can at any time just take it away, and that's the danger we've now entered into. You know, it seems to me that this is not a coincidence that you have a whole shitload of companies, I've seen somebody say 6, but I know it's more than that at this point, who are just running around just saying to different people on the far right that they can no longer use their services. So it's really ironic, because these are the kind of people, like the people that support this, see the idea of someone being turned away, especially if they're gay or whatever, from a business. But it's like, you aren't even in any way making sure that the people that you're targeting are even what you say they are. Like, there's already been a few stories that I've seen where the people that people alleged were at that Charlottesville rally weren't the people that they said they were. Even like the guy that drove the car, they got the wrong guy, and people ran with it. So the difference is that even with the people that harassed the guy, who apparently is now worried about being killed because he was wrongly identified, on top of that, you have all these other people that are running around, and this has all been endorsed by the establishment of, you know, we need to out the white supremacists that attended this rally. And I think I saw Eric Kane and a handful of other people that are otherwise respectable just going apeshit. And, you know, I think that people are kind of losing touch with fucking reality, if I'm being honest. There is this push, this real push for the idea that anyone that's labeled a Nazi, inaccurately or accurately, that they do not have equal rights, or even rights, if I'm, you know, not being charitable in terms of what I'm reading. You know, the militaristic and the violent rhetoric that I'm seeing, and I say violent because the rhetoric is a direct call to violence, with all this bullshit about killing Nazis. And that's what I said to, I think it was Howard Dean or somebody else. Or no, it was the fucking British guy. I don't even remember his name. Like, I'll give you my pistol. I'll take it out of the lockbox. I will put it in your hand. There's a Nazi. Are you going to fucking pull the trigger? And if you're not going to yourself, then you're just trying to wind people up until they do it. until they pull the trigger. And what I can't stand is, you know, I don't write for the Washington Post. I don't work for the New York Times. I don't work for a media outlet. I'm not on daytime television. You know, I don't have this position in life where I'm a multi-millionaire fucking pundit, and yet I'm not allowed to make fun of Boogie. That gets demonetized. Where I talk with Sargon, that gets demonetized. I critique Google, that gets demonetized. Everything that I do gets demonetized, even joke videos with fucking Trump. And yet, if I want to go on Twitter and say that I think people that I disagree with should be fucking murdered, that's fine, so long as I'm talking about the right kind of people. If I go on social media and I say that blacks deserve to be killed, that Latinos deserve to be killed, that Jews deserve to be killed, that any group other than white men deserve to be killed, I'm in big trouble. I can get run out of my job, I can get run out of my house, I can get run out of my town, I can be attacked physically, you know, I can have my life threatened. But if you are someone that is attacking someone that is a white man who has the wrong politics, and even if they don't, you can get away with anything. You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Like the media establishment, regardless of their political identity, whether they're Republican or Democrat or anything, they at this point, it's so many fucking people that will back the notion of people that they disagree with, who they term Nazis. Again, whether they're accurate or inaccurate, they don't even care. That it is justifiable to them to murder those people. I think, honestly, that one of the big issues that has come from Trump, and I don't even know, like, can you say that this is Trump's fault or not? I mean, he's just literally him. What can you do? A real issue with this fucking election is Trump derangement syndrome. Like, I'm not even sure how else to put it. That a certain amount of people in society, like anyone who's a pundit, anyone who is a fucking self-styled, you know-it-all expert, someone that appears on a show, somebody that's paid to talk, somebody that hosts a podcast, who's bourgeois, you know, anyone that is in any way part of the existing established media, that person is more likely than not to be fucking insane at this point. It is just so many fucking people. It is so many people, Republicans, Democrats, independents, far left, far right, everyone is collectively losing their fucking minds. And at the same time, you have all these media companies, all these fucking massive companies, all of these monopolistic companies from all stripes, all different sectors, just all over the country, all at once colluding to say, you know what, we don't like these people because they have a certain kind of politics, so boom, they're gone. We won't serve you anymore. We're going to shut down your accounts. Who knows what PayPal is doing with the money of those white supremacist accounts? You know, who knows what they're doing with it, whether they're going to give it to them or not. If they have any in the account, whether they closed it out or just kept the money. Who knows what's going on there? Who knows what's going on with the balances of these different websites that have been, you know, saying we're not going to pick you up, we're not going to let you stay here, we're not going to let you use our services, we're not going to allow you to transfer money. Like, they're just going out of their way. We're not going to host your website. They're going out of their way to try to isolate these people from society. And what you do when you do that is you are oppressing them. You are oppressing those people. And like, one of the things that I wanted to do, a video I wanted to make, but it's like, you know, I get home and I haven't even finished the script and I'm tired. But I wanted to do a script where I just lay out that the real problem that's happening here is that no one can even debate these people. No one can just do what Sargon did. Have a guy like Bake Alaska on a stream and just talk to him. And the guy embarrassed himself in that stream. But instead, Baked Alaska goes to some rally, and what happens? He gets physically disfigured. That's what happens. And you're not going to convince anybody like that. You're not going to convince anybody that Baked Alaska's wrong when you literally attack him and disfigure him and put him in the fucking hospital. That's not how you win an argument. You're not going to win against the white supremacists by literally going after them to such a degree that you are oppressing them. You are oppressing them. You have every fucking massive company in the country going after them, trying to destroy them, trying to find out who they are, trying to close out their accounts, and trying to ruin their lives. And it's like, yes, if it was one person, if it was a group of people in a local community saying whatever, then fine. But no, you have the combined efforts of massive billion-dollar corporations going after and targeting individuals and trying to literally, again, destroy their lives, destroy their career, destroy their families, run them out of town, dox their information. That's been another big thing, doxing and doxing. Doesn't matter if it's accurate or inaccurate, let's just dox this information to known groups that we are harboring, that we're covering for, that are violent, that are willing to go after people and are willing to kill them. That's what happened with that professor in Berkeley, the bike lock guy. That guy was willing to murder someone that he didn't know to what degree he disagreed with. He just considered him an enemy, and so he tried to murder him. That's who you're giving this information to. And you want to say to me, oh, I need to be afraid of the white supremacists. And it's like, yeah, I don't like them. One, they're collectivists, so fuck them. Two, I don't believe in a white identity, and I fear a white identity. So fuck the white supremacists. I don't think that the white supremacists are that intelligent, and I think that people like Jared Taylor, who I want to do a video on, isn't that intellectual. You know, he comes off as very posh, but he's not that substantive. He really isn't. But the problem in the video, I'm not sure what I want to call it just yet because of everything that's happened, but it's like the emphasis is going to be like, the problem is no one can literally debate him. No one can debate him, and it's not a matter of, he's just so airtight in his arguments. It's just the persons that are going up against him are fucking retarded. They just call him a racist, and as Sargon showed in that video, they don't care. They are racist. That's what happens. That's the difference. A person who isn't a racist or isn't a full-blown racist will react negatively, and they will defend themselves. An actual racist will just say, yeah, I'm a race realist, like he does. Jared Taylor says it. So there's no argument, and then the fucking person on the left just sits there like a fucking retard. Because the fact is, and I wanted to call the video this, the left can't debate. You know, people say the left can't meme. The left can't debate. We just try to shut you down and isolate you and ruin your life and everything else. That's not how you win a fucking argument. And all the crazy shit going on now, all the stupid shit about the statues, it's like, what that did, and maybe this is, the people arguing four-dimensional chess, it took the lid off of these people that show that they are, whether they know it or not, they are insane fucking totalitarian, not even authoritarian, totalitarian assholes who are trying to use social, corporate, and now that they're out of power in government, they can't really do it, but really social, corporate, and where they can, government power to destroy anyone that isn't them. If it isn't a mere image of them, they are by default their enemies. They have lost their fucking minds. I don't know whether it's just the corporatists and the progressives finally merging, finally becoming one. That's what we're seeing right now, as I've been talking about, but haven't had the time to really continue into, that we've really seen the merger between progressives and corporatists, that this is what's happening. They are now at the helm, and they realize that they're losing, and they can't debate, they don't want to try, they don't even want to do anything anymore. I went on back and forth with this dumb cunt on Twitter for hours debating the issue of the statues, and I kept telling her, listen, the problem is that people are naturally reacting because they think, and they just did a poll, and people, the overwhelming majority of the population agrees on the issue, that they fear that this is not going to stop with just the Confederate statues, that this is going to carry on past that. And all you saw today, and I tweeted it a bunch of times, there were 100 fucking articles, that they are serious. They are going to continue. This is just one step on the path of doing what Mao did, of doing what ISIS did, in eradicating history that doesn't reflect their reality. That is what they want. They are insane Marxists, whether they understand it or not. People want to talk about cultural Marxism. No, it is social communism, where if it isn't something that they cannot directly plan and artificially control, then it must be scrubbed. And if you oppose them, you are to be eliminated. You are an enemy. So I don't know what to tell people. I don't know what to tell people. This is something that's going on right now. This is something that's very serious. And if I had more time at my disposal, I could just do the fucking 5 videos at this point that I could do on any one of the issues that have been coming out. Any one of the things that I could be talking about. They're all happening seemingly at once. But, I don't know how to emphasize to these fucking people. These fucking lunatics in the media and in the punditry and the political establishment. You guys have completely lost your minds. It's not me. It's not me. It's not Trump. He just continues to say the same inarticulate shit as he always has. It's not anyone else. It's you. You people have lost your fucking minds. You need to get a grip on reality. And just accept the fact that for the next 4 fucking years, you're done with. Society has had enough of you. Just accept it, okay? If Trump comes out and starts rolling back all kinds of shit that you concern yourselves with, then talk about the fucking policy. But you don't do that. You don't talk about the policy. You don't care about the policy because half of the fucking shit he's going to do as it relates to taxes and corporations and everything else, you agree with. You agree with it. You and Trump are nearly aligned in terms of economics. People want to say that Bannon's going to push him to do whatever fucking shit on trade. I don't see jack shit happening. Okay? The stock market hitting records doesn't mean jack shit to me. Congratulations to the shareholders and the investors on Wall Street. Glad you're doing well. Hasn't made a goddamn difference in my entire life. Never. I don't care about Trump's rhetoric. I want to see what he's going to do on economics. He made a lot of promises there. He made a lot of promises talking about trade in particular, which is what I want to see, which Steve Bannon apparently wants to see. I saw an article today where Steve Bannon was talking about the fact that we're in an economic war with China and that we have a real issue here. We might lose that trade war. And I agree. I completely wholeheartedly agree with Steve Bannon. But no, every fucking asshole in the media wants to come out and say, oh, he's wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's completely wrong on trade. And it's like, no, where have all the manufacturing jobs gone? Where's all the investment gone? Where's everything gone? Which economy is still booming and is having an impossible task of trying to maintain it because of how much growth it's had? China. China's had all the growth. India's had the growth. Brazil has had the growth. The United States has not had the growth by any measure. Maybe if you want to measure it by wealth in terms of what the 1% has. And I know that people want to dismiss that. But no, it's true. It is true. It is part of the economics in this country that is so fucked up. We have too many monopolies. We have too many fucking rich dickheads that don't give a fuck about investing a cent of it back into this country. And we have every other person in this country crumbling. We have too much debt, whether it's millennials or whether it's boomers. We have too much debt for the individual. Too much. It's not good. And there's a distinction between deficit, national debt, and personal debt of individual Americans. Big fucking difference. The one you can justify in terms of the national debt and deficit, although there are people that obviously disagree, but there's justifications for that. But for personal debt, it's not good to have people that are near retirement age with all this fucking debt. That's not a good thing to have. But is anyone fucking talking about that? Is anyone talking about all these colossal issues? Is anyone going to talk about the fact that Donald Trump and Congress just passed another fucking spending bill for the defense industry, for the Defense Department, for the Pentagon, for the military, that's bloated as fuck? Is anyone going to talk about that? Is anyone going to talk about the real issues? Or are we going to, day after day after day, obsess about fucking bullshit? What does it all come down to? Are we talking about real policy? Are we talking about real politics? Are we talking about real issues? No, we're just running around with our thumb up our ass talking about whose rights we can take away, whose rights we're going to fucking restrict or find some fucking dickhead way to go after. If we can't go after their rights, we're going to go after their family, we're going to go after them, we're going to go after their business, we're going to go after their employer, we're going to try to destroy their lives. And for fucking what? What does that fucking accomplish? How are you going to defeat Jared Taylor or whatever other white supremacist dickhead? How are you going to defeat their ideas if all you do is try to fucking hound them until either they kill themselves or someone you radicalized fucking kills them? You know, how do we know we're not going to have another one of these, that fucking guy who shot Steve Scalise? How do we know we're not going to have 100 of those running around the country at some point? Because of the media, and because of the punditry, and because of everyone else who's winding people up with fucking propaganda that calls for physical violence against the opposition, or who they're labeling as the political opposition. I mean, every one of these World War II memes is a direct call to violence. It is. Every one of these World War II memes is a direct call to violence. Because what you're calling for is the assassination, the political assassination of your political opponents who are American citizens. You know, I should have known that after Barack Obama ordered the drone strike on that American citizen, it was some guy and his son, and the son had nothing to do with what was going on after that kid died because of what Obama did. Okay? I should have known that that was the turning point when it came to all this shit. That was when the establishment, whether left or right, the establishment, when they just accepted the fact that, you know what, fuck it. Fuck it all. Who cares? You can murder American citizens. It's justified. You just have to square that circle of how and why and who they were. Just attack their character enough to where you can then justify it. Propagandize in the media, say whatever they were, they believed whatever, whether they did or didn't, it doesn't matter. Who cares? There's no consequences if you lie anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Maybe you'll get a promotion if you bring enough eyeballs to the screen. It makes sense from that perspective that these people have completely lost their minds. But, like, I don't even know how to remedy that. Like, how do you remedy these people? How do you remedy them? Like, at some fucking point, some of these people need to be investigated. Some of these people need to be arrested because they are inciting violence. They are inciting violence. There's no other way to fucking say it. Whether it's against someone who's a white supremacist or not, it doesn't matter. It's still one individual inciting violence against another. At what point do the police, do the authorities look at these fucking tweets and say, okay, maybe now is the time to actually give this person a call and say, hey, can you tone it down a bit? You're getting a little bit too murdery and you're inciting a little bit too much for us. Can you just back it down a little bit? You know, how much further does it need to go? Why wasn't Kathy Griffin fucking investigated by Secret Service? Why? To my knowledge, she wasn't. Why wasn't she? Why wasn't she investigated? You had people that had Barack Obama hanging from a noose in their front yard that were investigated. Why not her? Why not these people on Twitter? Why not the fucking people in the media who are propagandizing 24/7? Why isn't anyone doing anything about this? Who could? You know, I've seen people on the right talking about fucking reinforcing the trust laws. Fucking do it! What is the fucking wait? How much worse does it need to get, you fucking limp dick, corporate cocksucking retards? You know, I just, like, I have no power in this situation, but the right does. And every one of you are cucks for corporations. You are going up against your own corporatist ideology. You sit there and you go, well, every fucking corporation in America has turned against us and they're all fucking monopolies because of our own policies. What do we do? Do something! Jesus Christ, like, do I have to hold your hand? Do I have to fly to the fucking White House and hold Trump's hand and the other people in his cabinet that are all right-wing and say, hey guys, listen, there are these laws that the fucking Justice Department, Department of Justice can fucking enforce, and you can limit the scale of influence that all these companies have, all these media companies, all the fucking Silicon Valley companies, you can limit their influence. Just enforce the fucking laws. But no, there's nothing. I haven't heard a goddamn thing outside of, like, Tucker Carlson and Paul Joseph Watson just kind of saying, like, well, you know, I'm kind of opposed to the idea because I'm too busy on my knees sucking corporate dick. Because everyone on the right, and I recorded a rant about this a long time ago, but people on the right, and I'm sorry, I know I have conservative listeners. You guys are corporate dick suckers. You can't get out of your own way, of your own ideology, to actually do what needs to be done. Break up these companies. You have the power to do it. Just do it.
What are you waiting for? Do it!
It shouldn't need to fall upon we the people, you know, like Jim did with his whole video, to come up with some cockamamie scheme about how we're going to go after and take on Silicon Valley as fucking nobodies. You have a guy in the fucking White House who 24/7 is being fucking attacked by these people. Just fucking call in the Department of Justice to enforce the fucking antitrust laws. For Christ's sake. People always say that the right, they're the opposition party. That once they take control, once they have power, they do nothing with it. And that's so true. It's so true. You guys have the whole of Congress. You have the executive office. You have the power to do this. But you don't. You don't do it. It's just all talk. And so what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do to help these people? To help anyone who's being oppressed, whether a Nazi or not? Someone that should have rights and should have access to services but currently doesn't. What do you want me to do? If you people on the right are just going to fall on your knees as you always do and deep throat the fucking corporate establishment, corporate America, if you're going to do what you've always done and continue to do it, then you're fucked. And you deserve it. You deserve to get oppressed. You deserve to get fucked. This is the monster that you helped create. I didn't vote for Bill Clinton, so don't fucking turn that on me. I had no choice in the matter as it relates to this. But so many people did. This is the behemoth that we have now. It's now targeting you, so do something about it. No one's gonna fucking listen to me because I'm one of 5 fucking dissident leftists in this country. So I can't do anything. But maybe I will talk about this more on a stream later. I gotta go for a jog. So thanks for listening.